Hi, Peter. I so I have a question, Peter. You're on mute. Am I supposed to squash my commits before opening a merge request? Opening a pull request?
Hey everybody,
Hi.
I'm Jennifer.
R-
So this
Rama.
Google, yeah, go on.
Oh, I just had a quick question while we wait. When I go to submit a pull request, do I squash all my commits beforehand?
Yes,
That's
and
okay.
that's Peter's policy. So yeah, when Peter is able to connect his audio, just repeat that question and he'll tell you exactly what to do. But yeah, we
Okay.
do squash the commits, and when we merge, we do a rebase.
Okay.
So that Google Talk, that was it you created that or was it Peter?
Yes, that was me that made that.
Okay, so I just sent a request to edit. So if you can do that, I'll uh, uh, I'll 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 make some additional comments or maybe insert some tasks there maybe tomorrow.
Okay. I have write permission on the wiki, so I think and Min would like to see the project plan anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so I just my write permission just came through um, yesterday. So how about I move it to the wiki? And that's a good spot for everyone to comment.
Yeah, I think we can all edit that page, right?
On the Hyperledger wiki.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I need to confirm, but I think we can all edit the page. Yeah. So sure, go ahead. I Yeah, go ahead. Let's do that. I think that'll be
Hi everyone. Good morning slash evening.
Hi, Peter. Hey, bro.
Alright, let's get started. Can you see my screen share?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Hyperledger Cacti maintainers meeting. Please abide by the antitrust policy notice that we're showing on the screen. And also the code of conduct, the Hyperledger code of conduct that you can see linked to on the agenda document. And with that said, our first discussion item is the mentorship project. I understand that there was a meeting yesterday between Rama and Jennifer, so maybe we could start by catching up on that one.
Yes, so
Yep.
Rama explained some of the history of the project, as well as the um, goals of the mentorship.
So I recorded the call and Jennifer uploaded it to Google Drive. You should have received an invite for that.
Yes,
Just
I got it.
just
Thank
check
you.
it. Great, yeah. If anybody else wants to see that recording, I'll be happy to share it with them. So
Mhm.
just send me your Google emails if you have, if you want access, and I'll give it to you.
Okay, so and since we're all here, maybe I can share my screen on the Google document that I sent out. Like it's only like three, I think that'll only take about 5 minutes, and we can comment on it
Yeah,
in real time.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure, sure. I think I had some quick comments, but then I'll have some more detailed thoughts, which I wanted to make those comments on the dog. But anyway, I'll do that once you set up the wiki.
Okay. Yeah, just to make sure that we're all on
Sure.
that we're all talking about the same thing. So it's taking me a little bit, it might take me a little bit to, this is the first time I have tried to share using a Linux.
If you want, I can share it.
Use system desktop. Okay, we're gonna try using system desktop capture. Yeah, okay. Okay, can everybody see my desktop? All right.
Yeah,
Let's
I can see.
see. I gotta move this out of the way. Okay. Okay, so this is the key of the, it's maybe not very good in presenting mode, but this is basically the key of the whole thing, is that we want to go from the external API of the Cactus interface using the Cactus internals and the Weaver external API using the Weaver internals to recognizing that there is some overlap in these two, that can be send some redundancy to be removed. So what the idea is that these things use similar core operator underneath. So we would create an API of those core operators, and Rama has a nice list of them. And then those would use the Cactus internals and the Weaver internals. And the external interface could use the operator API, as well as new clients. So going through and using the, and then this would allow us to remove the redundancy between the two projects while having a unified interface. So that's the idea. Right now, there's I understand that there's this project is two projects put together, and they have quite different testing philosophies. And right now, it's not easy. Like if you just want to run all the tests, that's not easy. So one of the things I think is moving towards a combined CI skeleton, where you are running tests for both Weaver and Cactus in the same workflow. But beyond that, we want to, there's the basic work of making the core operators module, the skeleton, implementing the core operators, or rather using what's already been implemented in the core operators module, and then moving the external interfaces to use the core operators. It's making sure that all of the tests still run. So the idea is that we would, as we're doing this, make comprehensive documentation on the core operators API and its use and getting started. And then in future, external interfaces for the Weaver and Cactus can be deprecated in favor of the core operators. So while I saw that there's a task going through on coverage, which is a really essential part of CI, because once that coverage gets in, when we identify all of the tests that we want to run are running, and we're using the core operators, then we can use the coverage output to see what code is not getting hit, and remove it. So the assumptions are that I know there's a release change, but we don't want to rock the boat too much on the external interfaces for Weaver and Cactus, because they may still be in use by clients. So does everybody agree that that's what this is about?
So this is, I think, a great stab at a high-level plan. There are some complications, though. It's the picture of external interface to internals. It's not strictly speaking like that. there's a, in fact, both Cactus and Beaver have quite different pipelines. So uh, we have to figure out a bit more about how to integrate those two pipelines together. So I think that part is not covered. And honestly, since because I think none of us also know precisely how to do that, we can't really expect that you would, yeah, you would do that now, Jennifer. So I think until the point where we can figure that out properly, I think more or less this is a good plan to start. Even though there's some details I would probably change, and also the sequence of things to do. So I totally
Mhm.
agree with you that we and there's something we discussed yesterday that we should try not to break things as much as possible. So one thing we were trying to do early this year was to get at least all of uh, the Weaver uh, packages and the Cactus packages on a common footing, which just means that we expose the Weaver packages the same way that Cactus packages are exposed,
Mhm.
and once that is done, we can try to eliminate redundancies. Now we can the redundancy part we can shelve that for now because I think that's a somewhat more complicated task. For example, there's a package called the Fabric connector, and then there's a Weaver package called Fabric driver. Um, in theory, they're supposed to do something very similar, but in practice, I think there is quite a substantial difference in what they are internally doing, and
Mhm.
as well as the APIs that they're exposing. Also, the external when you talk about the Weaver external interface, um, strictly speaking, it's there is not one interface. There are several interfaces corresponding to different modules because what you have is you have an interface that is exposed to applications for triggering any cross-chain transactions. That's one interface. Then you have another interface for the relay component, and then you have another interface for the connectors, which are called drivers. So, and by the way, there's yet another interface for the the contracts, which are supposed to be going into the core operative module. So I think one of the things we should be doing uh, uh, in with in B, when you say implement core operative module skeleton, we should be designing sketching out the initial core operative module, uh, populating the internals with the set of functions that we discussed yesterday.
Mhm.
As we discussed, it's not a uh, it's an extensible set. Right now we have a list of 6 or 7 items, but we can have more. And if you notice in the diagram, we also had a no-op. Why there's a no-op? Because there are a lot of the Cactus packages when they are interfacing with the ledger, they do not intend to go through the a particular contract. So we need a no-op so that if you want to directly hit the ledger without invoking any of those proof or loss or claim functions, we need that as well. So we have to design that too, a no-op interface. It's kind of it's simple, but it still has to be there for completeness. So I think what you have in up to part A to A, B, C, I think is kind of covers what we will need initially. Then
Mhm.
we'll have to play it a bit by ear. Depending on how we design the core operators module, we can modify our priorities and sequence operations in the future. But as a high level, I think this kind of works. I like I said, I'll again review this, just try to connect it to my knowledge of what the code currently looks like and the challenge that's ahead of us, and I'll try to make some more changes once you have the wiki.
Okay. Okay.
As a sorry, just one more thing. As a short term thing, we can you can probably start on one, fix some of the things that you have already identified that need to be fixed. Add more make files, anything else. Integrating the tests. All of those are great things. Do those things, and
Mhm.
also uh, let's and here Sandeep and I will help you with this, is expose all of the Weaver packages as within the package monorepo that Cactus has. So
Okay.
once we do that, yeah, we can go on to the next step. And as a
Yes.
goal, uh, the thing I think we should shoot for is there's something that I wanted to do last year, but somehow never managed to get the time. Was we should have a figure out take a couple of end-to-end examples, one that Cactus currently supports, one that Weaver currently supports, and as a proof of concept, once the core operators module is done, we will show that both of those are now going through the core operators module. That is, they're
Mm-hmm.
using the core operators module API and they're using core operator module functions, and the end goals are fulfilled just the way they are fulfilled now. So I think that should be our goal, and I'll make an explicit goal for that as like our last milestone.
Okay. Yeah. One idea I had for unifying for exposing the Weaver packages as Cactus packages would be really, I don't know if that much has to change, except, or rather, it would be nice if the Weaver packages behaved the same way as the Cacti packages for building and testing. Um,
Yeah.
so, for instance, I think just looking at this is getting a little bit off topic, but there's a way to do a more unified. So getting everything under the same CI could be done using Lerna. So this is a proof of concept. So this list of packages to test could be the output of Lerna change or Lerna list, depending on if you want to run all the tests or just what's changed since the last version. And then using the matrix strategy, uh, you just get the output of the modules that have changed or all the modules, and then you run the test and just get the job for that package. So I tried converting one Cactus package to this, and it seems to have worked okay. And then this could be all of the packages, and this doesn't change the Cacti test CI strategy very much, because this is all doing everything in an individual job, which is, I think, what you wanted, Peter. So if for instance, the Weaver packages ran their tests as part, there's also, I think, too much Weaver logic in the CI. So all of these steps could be in Docker images, for instance, or scripts, so that you can so that you don't have the problems I had when you're trying to get going. You can just run the Docker image on your local environment and have it work the same way as in CI.
That's a good idea, actually. I think like we have if you wanted to run some things, some tests on a Hyperledger Fabric network, they actually have an image called Fabric Tools, which contain all the right configurations and the right commands. So you could have an image called Weaver Tools, and so you could do something. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it'd just be nice to get everything going following this. We could have different jobs, one for unit tests, one for integration tests, but this is the idea. If you can agree on the package command system, then you can run every package individually and nothing leaks out to you don't have a bunch of logic leaking out to the overall CI like we have over here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share today. I'll stop sharing somehow.
Yep. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I on the details of that, I'll also need Sandeep to chip in. So he's not on the call, but we can discuss that on Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great start, Jennifer. That's uh, keep working with the setup and yeah, start submitting the PRs that we discussed, and we can also then have design discussions by and by.
Sounds good.
I just have a quick suggestion in general. The CI code is huge, so I recommend starting with pull requests that are smaller and they do not immediately refactor everything all at once because it's going to be very difficult to review.
Yes. So
So,
what I was thinking was I would just submit a small pull request with like 3 packages, uh, see what people think of the direction. And it's true the CI is huge, but the nice thing about, and that's a kind of a problem. Like whenever you have something grow like mushroom like that, you've got to get on top of it because. But the nice thing about the CI YAML is that YAML is parsable. And so, for instance, I was able to parse the cactus CI and I found that, oh, 44 jobs are exactly the same. Uh, and the only difference is the environment variables. So right away, you can get rid of 44 jobs. Uh, so I think once we agree on a direction, I think that we can go through and parse the YAML. We wouldn't even try to make any changes by hand, uh, and go that way. That way, it's just one change that we can have confidence that we are not losing anything going forward.
makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good to me.
Okay.
And for our next topic, I just wanted to highlight the Zoom chat where Rajat opened the GitHub issue about the one of the examples not working.
Yeah, hi.
So, yes. Hi, Zero. Hi, Rajat.
Yeah, hi. Should I share my screen or?
Yeah, if you could share and explain just in a few words, that would be great. I think Mihal and Zuru could get a better sense of it then.
Just a minute. I might join some issue sharing. Yeah, my screen share.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll have to rejoin once.
Okay.
If it's visible, then let me know.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. I'll explain the issue. I am running this on a MacBook, and I followed the exact steps that was mentioned. So this is regarding the cactus example, uh, discounted asset trade. So I intend to build a bridge between Ethereum and Hyperledger Fabric, and there was no current example that is doing this. This was the only one. So I started working on it. So when I was running it, I was facing a lot of issues. While debugging, I found out like there's some issue inside the package, uh, like a version issue for Fabric that I fixed. So that I could fix. But once I was running this further, then when I run the yarn step credentials, setup credentials, that request fails. So I get this as a response that unable to resolve dit command for DID. Um, I I tried to look this up even further, and I could find that like there is this specific instance that's creating this problem. If I move it to create, then it kind of starts working, but I don't think that's the intention behind it. I'm new to Indie, so I'm not aware of this. If anyone could help me with this, or like I could file a cumulative PR for this, then
Yeah, hi. I've seen this issue earlier. I mean, I've never seen the problem that you encountered, but in general, this code was never tested on macOS. So I
okay.
can't really, uh, you know, say anything more.
And
I've
now,
tested on Ubuntu, so maybe you could try installing this on the virtual machine. But yeah, other than that, I'm completely in the blue here because I don't have too much experience with Mac OSs.
okay, I thought like I got that this might be due to Mac, so I tried to run the dev container.
Mhm.
Even that was not running fine
Okay,
at times. Like it gets stopped at this error. Like I thought maybe this is due to Mac, so the dev container would help me bypass that. But
yeah, okay. I'll try to run this on a dev container as well, and I'll reach out to you back.
yeah,
Um,
like for me, the dev container was also not running. I'll try to run this on a Ubuntu machine. It's just that if I could find a way to fix it, because I found that in India also people have reported Mac issues. So it is primarily maybe due to just the Mac issue. But yeah, I just wanted to know that is there anything that I could do about it at mine?
yeah,
Fine, I'll try mine. Uh, just one thing. This works on Ubuntu machines.
Peter, have you ever run the dev container on Mac OS? Because I think it's, judging from the logs, it has some troubles starting in general.
On ARM, I'm not sure if it works. On Intel, I think it does. But with that said,
Okay.
I haven't tried it either. I'm on Ubuntu. That's my host OS.
So I think the Node.js version crashes. So possibly it's not
Which
supported.
Node.js version should I use? Node.js 20 I'm using right now.
Yeah, it should work with Node.js 18 or 20 or newer, but yeah, the support for macOS is pretty bad right now because we don't really have anyone who's working on it.
Okay, okay. Sure, Ari. Because like this, the whole setup even fails on Node 18 on macOS. I had to shift to Node 20. I thought like maybe that's a precondition that I've missed something. Yeah, but yeah, could be just a Mac issue. I'll try that on Ubuntu then. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Okay, we have 1 minute left. So I will say let's add to the backlog the scorecard discussion. So I will add that to next week's discussion. Sorry, Rama, that we didn't get to it.
No, no problem. we just I posted the link so everybody can take a look. We're getting some tens, we're getting some zeros. So we should look at the zeros and figure out how to get tens. That's the task.
Okay. Yeah, there's this is very handy. I'll
Yeah.
definitely take a look.
I don't know how we gained the 0.6, but I'm happy with it. So we're closer to 7 now.
We're getting there. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining, and I'll talk to you next time.
See you next week.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.